Hey, welcome back to Gamehead. Tonight we're continuing our look into the mind of Mario with Gamehead's tribute to Shigeru Miyamoto. You hear so many other game designers talk about how they're inspired by your games. What do you hope that other designers take from the way you design games?
Really what I want to see is I want to see game designers and game developers, instead of focusing on trying to recreate the games we've already seen, I want to see them bring their own unique ideas to video gaming and find a way to turn those ideas into new and creative video games that we haven't seen before.
You know, people talk about Miyamoto as an innovator and people talk about what's so great about him, but if you look at the actual games and if you didn't know, you might wonder, okay, well, what is it?
They showed that video games could be a lot different. They could be more than just one screen and repeated actions over and over again.
So Super Mario Brothers was the first side scroller. Legend of Zelda was the first open roaming world environment. You know, without Legend of Zelda, would there be Grand Theft Auto? You know, I mean, that he introduced that concept.
The Grand Theft Auto series, they wouldn't seem to have much in common with a Mario brother, but you realize that they actually borrow a lot from the work of Miyamoto, all the way from using prostitutes as a power-up to this idea that it's essentially a little universe that you can play with.
So Legend of Zelda cartridge also actually had a battery in it that apparently lasted 10 years and it would allow you to save your spot in the games. I mean, that was huge for the industry. I doubt Miyamoto was the one who said, like, we could put a battery in. But Miyamoto essentially came up with a game that was so big, I mean, that they had to build technology that would change the industry in order to make his game work.
I think Miyamoto's hallmark is that his games are the games that you never needed an instruction manual for. You can sit somebody down in front of a Miyamoto game, and probably you have better odds than when you will with just about any other game, that they'll be able to figure it all out themselves. He always wanted to make his games accessible. Some people call that kiddie, because his games, for the most part, look juvenile. I'd say what he's always gone for is clarity.
I think there's a certain amount of irony now to look at how well the Wii is doing. That, you know, people thought that the video game industry was going to move beyond and leave Miyamoto behind, but I think what you're seeing is that he always said he was taking his own path, and his own path has sort of ended up coming out quite nicely.
Miyamoto's path has led Nintendo to great success with the Wii and DS, but we decided to turn the tables on Miyamoto and have him play one of our games. Now, Mr. Miyamoto, we have a little game we wanted to play with you. It's a word association game. We have a bunch of pictures here. To see if there's one word that comes to mind when you pick some of these images. Oh, the Wii 60 family. Have you heard about this? The picture of, this is Reggie, and they have you down here. The Addams family. This is the idea of people picking, buying the Nintendo Wii and the Xbox 360 together. You're down here, and Bill Gates from Microsoft.
This looks to me like it would be an expensive game to make.
You know who this is? She's playing a Nintendo DS. Paris Hilton is her name.
I'm just glad to see so many different people own our products. This is Brian Crescenti, editor of Kotaku, and this is Kotaku on Shigeru Miyamoto. He's the first guy I ever interviewed that I actually asked to have my photo with.
I actually met him at the Nintendo World store about a year and a half ago. Really nice guy, just signed autographs for something like 3 or 4 hours.
He really brought back video games at a point where they were starting to fade away.
You look at him and he is truly excited about the product he is working with.
Even games that he doesn't directly work on, games that he's kind of just involved with, they're kind of like a Miyamoto game.
He's a kid who's looking at the industry through the eyes of a child and seeing what excites him and creating that. He's goofy. He's goofy as all get out, but he's like a big kid.
You'll talk about guys like Will Wright or Peter Molyneux or Kojima, but I think Miyamoto more than anyone else. I mean, his track record speaks for himself.
I suspect that he can both speak and understand English fluently, though in interviews he has his translator translate his answers. I think that's him being tricky.
Thank you for a very good time last night.
Coming up next on Gamehead, Miyamoto talks about the games he would like to make, and finally plays a little music. Yippee!
Mario is easily one of the most popular characters for over a quarter of a century now, and he's not slowing down. So let's take a look at the 3 most popular Mario games on GameTrailers.com. Fans can't get enough of the recently released Super Paper Mario, and it's been topping the charts with over 1.6 million downloads. Ever since its surprise debut at E306, fans have been clamoring for more footage of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and they've downloaded the 3 trailers an impressive 1.6 million times. With 1.2 million downloads for the planet-hopping Super Mario Galaxy, it looks like Mario will continue to be a star for light years to come. Want to see the full versions of any of these videos? Well, make sure to check out GameTrailers.com right now.